Hello, I'm back. I'm going to talk about my ayahuasca experience, which was already some time ago. It was just about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And I did this ayahuasca healing process in Barcelona in a group setting with a healer, with a guide. And he was from that area, and he has been doing this for many, many years. And it was my second session with this specific guide, but it was my 5th time to do ayahuasca. And I found the experience as enlightening as ever, and it really, this time I had actually done about 10, 11 days of Vipassana, just a week or two before that ayahuasca process. And so I was really wide open, more than I have been maybe ever, or maybe for a very long time. And having done the Vipassana meditation course, which is essentially receiving the Vipassana teaching, which was one of the meditation types taught by the Buddha 2,500 years ago. And it's a 10-day meditation course where you're in silence and men and women are segregated, and it's an incredible gift to humanity because it's available all around the world and it's free of cost. And after you complete 10 days of this Vipassana, you can give a donation. And only then, if you've completed it, can you give this donation. So I had done this 10 days of meditation, and I was very much in a much more peaceful place than usual, because I had been going through a lot of turmoil in my life, and the meditation really helped to just quiet me and to teach me about observation and awareness and acceptance, and that I'll speak about elsewhere. But what I have in mind to share is that because I was so open with Vipassana, when I went and did this ayahuasca process, I was really very open and ready for Mother Aya's teachings. And I feel like I didn't have my guards up like usual. I understood that because I'd used the plant medicine before, that whatever we refer to her as she, very often people have female, understanding that she is of female nature. And what I got from this experience was that she, as she comes to you and as she's always giving you what you're ready for and showing you what you're ready to see, and basically maybe slamming you in the face with some really hard stuff, or in the heart or in the body somewhere. It's not an easy journey, but through this experience I could see that I was more ready, I was more quiet, and just okay with myself. And so because of the meditation, so going into the Vipassana, going into ayahuasca process, I was really calm and accepting and open to the teachings. I was ready for the unpeeling of these layers, and that's really what occurred. And I had gone in with the intention to go deeper into myself, because I knew that I had a long way to go, and I know now that I still have a long way to go. But this journey was so beautiful, just to open up and say, what do you have for me? Give me what I'm ready for. And Give me what I need now, and what I need to hear, and what I need to see, and what I need to understand, and what I need to feel. And really, I have to say, a lot of the transformation, a lot of the healing comes from this resonation of feeling when you're given something and you feel it so deep in you, like you feel it in your cells, you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your skin and in your stomach, or wherever you need to feel it. And sometimes, for example, in this time, I was slammed back into my teenage years, and there were several instances when I was 11 and when I was 14 and around this time that I remember vividly. And I had been working with, just the week before, looking at this time and tapping into some of those childhood memories. But during this process, I was right back there. I was right back. I was this little girl, or this teenage girl, and I was looking around and I could feel what I felt then, and I could see what I saw then. And it specifically was a journey of me going into that time and understanding what was going on then, and understanding this relationship that I had to my mother and this relationship that I had to my father, and isolated occurrences of this kind of repeated pattern that would go on and on during my childhood and into my adulthood. And just basically looking at how I was raised and understanding that piece. And this was just one part of my experience, one part of my journey that night. It was 6 hours of ayahuasca with a dark room, a circle of people, a candle in the middle, music playing. We were served 3 times the actual ayahuasca drink, and sometimes taking a puff of tobacco. And meanwhile, the guide is coming and blessing you at different times, or bringing some sage or something else, or some perfume, or things that I don't know about, and keeping an eye on everybody and helping the people who need help. And so during this night, I was going through many, many different stages of my experience. And one part of that was this time of my childhood, and looking up into my upbringing, and understanding myself as a parent now, and understanding how I understood on a very deep level, not just intellectually, not just in my mind, but I could feel how I am doing the same things, or the same types of things that my parents did. So I could see how, for example, they treated me, or they would do certain things with me, or they wouldn't do certain things with me. For example, like holding back affection, holding back hugs, or walking out when we needed to have a conversation, feeling that abandonment. So these were just some things that I have experienced as a child, but I was able to see for the first time really that my parents were actually not this like amazing set of parents that I always made them out to be, and I didn't have this perfect childhood. And not to say that it should have been any different, and not to say that they didn't do their best, but I understood my childhood in a new way. And then I also saw reflections of that experience and how I was raised with how I parent my own kids now, and understanding that it's actually a choice that I have to act in such a way that is very easy or natural or automatic. But although I have this choice, I don't have to go that way, especially when I understand and I have the awareness piece where I can see that it's actually not helpful, or I can choose a different way which may work better when in communication with my children, or when showing them affection, or communicating, or spending time together. So essentially, there were so many instances during the night, during my process of 6 hours, which then kind of trickled on. It just didn't really stop, even though the ceremony was over. I felt it all night. I was still processing things, and I still process things from that night. But it made such an impact, just that one thing, and then many, many other things. I wrote pages on it just to document it, and I spoke for hours with people about it, including the guide and including close friends and family. And I feel like all of the pieces that were given to me that night, it's so easy to just say, oh wow, that was cool, that was a really deep night, and then walk away and then continue my life. But I was given so many so many keys that I can now use in my life, and I am using in my life to unlock these chambers and to go deeper into this understanding and to understand also how it plays out in my life. And so I feel extremely grateful for this plant, for this combination of plant called ayahuasca, because of how she's healing people. Like, this plant is seriously healing people and healing us emotionally, which leads to all the physical ramifications of healing. And overall, my physical body is getting better and stronger and healthier, but it's all because of the emotional piece. I can't do the physical stuff without the emotional piece being on track or being more on track. And so I'm extremely grateful to this plant, and to her teachings, and to see how she's helping us as humans, and then helping us see the planet in another way, and to see our nature in another way, and to really find that way of healing, because it's only helping. Like, it really is only helping. It's so transformative, and it's helping us to really make big changes in this life, and to make big changes for our world in a positive way, which we all know we're very in need of. And I'm also very grateful for having had this Vipassana course. Although I had done Vipassana before, maybe 10, 11 years ago, I did 2 courses, 2 10-day courses. This time it was my 3rd, and it kind of felt like it was my first time, because I'm a 40-year-old woman now. I'm not a 30-year-old woman. And I really had a lot to work with, like a lot of issues, a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, a lot of history, everything that I was already born with when I came into this world, and stuff from past lives, if you believe in that. I believe in that. But also, like, what's in my DNA, what's in my body, and then all the things that have accumulated this life, from my childhood, from my relationships, from my own children, from my partner, all the stuff, it's just like, I have so much to work with. And so going into meditation, I was really able to quiet and to slow down and to just observe. And then that, coupled with the ayahuasca, it was like I was already open and just accepting of what would come to me. And then ayahuasca really helped me to go another level deeper into my own self, and to understand myself as I am now, this idea of self, this I was able to see, to pick apart a little bit more about what's going on, and understand what's happening today, and why is that happening today, what led up to this, what happened before, or what did I feel before, or what did I experience before that makes things the way they are right now. And it's such power, because you can see how change is made, how something becomes a pattern, or something becomes a habit. And it's sometimes a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's not a habit. But when it's all the time, when it's habitual, and it's somewhat natural or automatic, you definitely can question that and say, okay, well, what can I do to tweak it, to make it a little bit different, to change the effect? Like, where I am now, I can see how I'm changing some things, and I'm going deeper, and I'm not on automatic. I'm actually conscious and observing and watching and moving forward that way. Whereas before I was much more just doing things, just reacting. And the Vipassana, which I'm so grateful for, taught me to like react less. It taught me to not react, but I couldn't really embody that 100%, and I'm working on that. So I react less. So now I feel my anger, or I feel my hurt, or I feel my jealousy, or I feel my joy, or I feel my sorrow, whatever it is that comes, I see it, and in an ideal situation, I observe it. I'm not reacting to it and then regretting my reactions later, or getting so attached to it in something like this. So I really feel like the Vipassana helped me to be more open to my ayahuasca experience. So that's what I want to share today. I appreciate your listening.